Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. In today's video, I wanted to kind of go over some of the cards that we have seen with FAI so far and kind of give a more like concrete set of cards that I'm looking at maybe for like a first FAI build. The previous video, I went over some of the FAI staples, right? And I kind of just wanted to go a little bit more in depth on this video and kind of break it down by color on what I think are either A, auto includes, or B, like near auto includes, pretty much like maybe like 80-90% of the time. So I have technically 45 reds here, so it's 3 into 45, so 15 reds that I would run a 3 of minimum in, obviously. These might change over time, but overall, I think if you're trying to build your first FAI build, maybe on Tabletop Simulator or FabDB, or you're just getting printouts of the cards or whatever it may be, these are cards that I would definitely look at. For me, I tried to do a full Draconic build. I didn't want to like include generic cards, so stuff like Snatch or Scar for a Scar, or maybe even generic Ninja cards. I tried to really stick to Draconic cards because at least from first reactions, I think FAI's power is going to be in a full Draconic build. I definitely think you're going to be able to do like a hybrid version of FAI where you do like some Draconic, some generic, but overall, I think Draconic is going to be the way you're going to have to go with this. And anything that's not a Draconic attack action is going to have to be really impactful for you. So it just depends, but definitely had to see. But getting right into it, we'll go over the 15 reds, and then I'll go over some of the blues that I would think about running as a staple, and we'll go from there. So the first one is Blaze Headlong. This came out today during the box reveals. If you've played another red card this turn, Blaze Headlong gains Go Again. With FAI, this is also a 0 cost. With FAI, you're almost always going to be able to play a red card before this card, so it's not that hard to do, and it's a Draconic action, so it's going to count towards FAI's ability. It's going to count towards his new weapon, stuff like that. So definitely should include this in your deck. I think 0 for 4 for Go Again 9 times out of 10 is going to be great, and just a really good card. Next one, Cinderskin Devotion. This one's automatic, in my opinion. If you control 2 or more Draconic Chain Links, it gains Go Again. It is a 1 cost, and I understand that's a little bit annoying with FAI, but it's a 3-block red. It's a 1 for 4 with it's, and similar to Blaze Headlong, it's almost always going to have Go Again because the way this mechanic works is if you control 2 or more Draconic Chain Links, if you play us on the second one, it counts towards itself. So you don't have to play us on the third link. Like you don't have to play 2 before it, then play this. You can play us on the second link and it'll gain Go Again. So you play any red card before it, then play this, it'll gain Go Again. It's a block 3, which is really nice for an attack at red, and yeah, just a really good card overall. One thing I wanted to point out before I go into the next card is FAI is going to have, I would guess, around 18 to 21 1-cost cards in his deck minimum, so you're going to have to run around 15 blues, and we'll get that in a second, but just keep that in mind as we get a lot of these cards that are his swing cards and kind of his kind of pop-off turns are going to involve 1-cost cards, so just keep that in mind. This next one that was revealed today, this one is literally a ninja route, which is amazing. It's Combustion Point. Target Draconic or attack action card gains plus, or ninja attack action, so it buffs both, gains +1. You may banish a non-equipment defending card with defense less than the number of Draconic links you control. So this literally works the same way as route. It has a little bit more conditions to it, but you play a attack late in the chain. Maybe it's your 4th attack. Or even third attack, and then you attack with something else. Ideally, you would want it to be the 4th attack, and then you play Combustion Point on top of it out of Arsenal or something, maybe with a flowing resource you have from something else. This is gonna be able to buff it by 1 and then send a card to their banish. Not even back to hand like Route does, but send it to banish. This is gonna be really good if you're playing like a Dorinthia or somebody with a lot of 3-block cards. Remember that it's with defense less than the number of chain links you control, so you need to be to guarantee to send a 3-block to banish. You're going to have to make sure that this is being played on the 4th chain, which is going to be a little difficult. You're going to have to use like Phoenix Flames, right, to get there. But like if you attack twice and then you use FAI's ability to go get a Phoenix Flame for free, right, or whatever the case may be, and then you play this, then on another attack, then you can do it that way. So. But if they blocked with a 2-block, you could also send it back this way. It'd be a really good way to close out games. And if you absolutely have to use it, it is a 3-block red, which is really useful. And just overall a good card. So definitely would probably include 3 of these in my deck. Next one is Dust Runner Outlaw. It's a Draconic Ninja action. Nothing fancy here. It's a 1 for 4 go again. It's like a leg tap, but for Draconic Ninja. And again, if you're trying to do a full Draconic build, super simple and easy to use, and I definitely would include this. This is auto include. Just it fills everything FAI wants. It's a go again attack. It's a red. It's 4 hits for a break point, and it's a Draconic Ninja action. So really good for that. Next one is Flame Call Awakening. This one 1000% auto include at 3. No, like this will be in your deck. When you attack with Flame Call Awakening, if you've played another red card this turn, you may search your deck for a Phoenix Flame, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. The reason this is so good is because if you have a blue in hand and you play attack before this, then you play Flame Call Awakening, you go get a Phoenix Flame, you play that Phoenix Flame for free, and then since you've played attacked 3 times this turn, then you pop FAI's ability, go get another Phoenix Flame from graveyard, play that for free, right? So you're going to be able to get a lot of different attacks going, and this is just like an automatic, right? It doesn't have to hit to go get the Phoenix Flame. You just automatically go get it. It works like Belittle. So I think this is definitely going to be a part of any FAI deck. Next one is Inflame. This one, honestly, I think coupled with a couple other cards is one of the best cards you can play. It's a 0 cost for 1. When you attack with Inflame, if you play another red card this turn, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. So you play that 43 damage 5-turn video that I did that I keep referencing. Like this was one of the driving cards, right? Because if you play something like a Spreading Flame into this, then you can go get multiple Phoenix Flames in 1 turn and it just keeps buffing itself. And if you play something like Spreading Flames into Inflame into Flame Call Awakening, maybe if you had a blue, like you can just go get 2 Phoenix Flames and then you pop FAI's ability, or you can even break the chain, put the Phoenix Flames back in graveyard, then put them back. I think FAI is going to have, I think really good FAI players are going to have this kind of dance, if you will, of knowing when to string out long chain links with a lot of damage and when to break the chain like strategically. Because obviously you're going to want to threaten Mask of Momentum a lot, because Mask of Momentum is just going to be stupid good in FAI. But if you know that you can attack 3 times with a Phoenix Flame and 2 attacks, then break the chain, then put that Phoenix Flame back in graveyard because that's the only one maybe you have in graveyard at that time, then play Inflame, go get that Phoenix Flame that you just put back in graveyard, attack again, right? Like you could just keep attacking, right? And so I think good FAI players are going to want to know how to do that. But again, Inflame, pretty much an auto include. Lava Vein Loyalty, same thing. Similar to Cinderskin Devotion, Lava Vein Loyalty, you play this as a second attack. It has go again. It's a 0 for 3. It's basically a head jab except it's Draconic Ninja. Just really good. Then you have Phoenix Form. This is like the biggest swing card ever. Obviously, getting all 3 Phoenix Flames to be played before this is going to be very difficult, but just the capability of possibly being able to draw 3 cards is just nuts. Especially if you drew into this off like a Tome or off something else, off Mask, and you have like 1 or 2 cards in hand, and maybe you can buff this with like a Razor or something. Like that's just gonna make this card just nuts. And even if you don't hit all 3 capabilities, a 0 for 5 go again is still really good, and it's a 3 block, so just a really good card in general. Then you have Rebellious Rush. This was revealed today as well. It's basically a Surging Strike. It's a 2 for 5 go again, and it's a Draconic attack ninja action. I definitely would include this. Again, if you're just trying to go wide with FAI. Again, my initial FAI build is going to have 13 to 15 blues. And I'm sure there's going to be other ways of generating resources. We haven't even seen the Draconic Legendary for FAI or the Ninja Legendary of what it's going to be. So maybe there'll be different ways of generating resources for him. But yeah, Rebellious Rush is really good overall. Then you have Rise from the Ashes. This is just really good to start turns on. It's basically like a Nimblism, but for Draconic or Ninja attack action cards. And it allows you to go get a Phoenix Flame. At the very least, like if you had no other cards in hand, right? If you had just this card, you play this card, go get a Phoenix Flame, play Phoenix Flame for 6, or not 6, sorry, or not even the next card, but if you have this and, another card, you play this, buff that card, then play Phoenix Flame for 1, like you can basically attack for like 6 or 7 in a turn with 3 cards, and 2 cards, and it'd be really nice. So definitely different ways to do that, but overall, a good pump. And then you have Rise Up. This card's just dumb. If you can draw into this card off Mask of Momentum or off Tome or off Phoenix Form, like being able to attack 5-6 times in a turn and then come in with like 6, 7, 8 dominate rise up would just be insane. Because it gets plus X, where X is twice the number of Phoenix Flames you control. So if you've played 2 Phoenix Flames that turn, it's gonna get plus 4. So it's gonna be for 7 dominate. The most it can be is 8 dominate. Or no, the most it can be, I'm sorry, is 10 dominate. So because 3 would be 3 times 2 is 6 plus 3, 9. So it's 9, 10 dominate, or 9 dominate. This card always messes with me. But 9 dominate is the highest it could go, and the lowest it will go is 5 dominate. So really good. It's either gonna be at 5, 7, or 9. Just really good ways to end out a turn, and it's only a 1 cost, so it's really nice. Then we have Ronin Renegade, and I'll fix this just because some of these had different things. So Ronin Renegade is basically a Draconic Ninja head jab. It's a 0 for 3 go again. Definitely include it. It's going to be really good with FAI to go wide to get those Draconic links going, which is what you want to do for those swing turns with some of your swing cards. Definitely play this card. And then you have Spreading Flames. This, I know I've said it a couple times in this video, but I think at Majestic, I think this is the best card in the deck currently from what I'm seeing. If I had to pick, and you gave me one card to pick as the best card in the deck, this is the best card in the deck. Draconic attacks you control have +1 while their base is less than the number of chain links you control. You play this into an Inflame, into a Lava. So like you play this card, right? And then you play then you play like an Inflame, right, at Draconic Chainlink 2, so it'll be getting +1 buff, right? And then you play anything really that's a 2, like a Lava Vein Loyalty or something like that. Like you can just get continuous +1 buffs through your attacks, and it really can buff your attacks really, really well. Or basically you play like this into an Inflame, into a Phoenix Flame, because Phoenix Flame will get +1 buff from itself and +1 buff from Spreading Flame, so it'll get +2. And then you play like a Lava Vein Loyalty, which will get +1 again. So it can keep buffing itself, and it just makes things very difficult for the opponent. Like at full value with this card, you could basically get +4, +5 damage over the whole turn, maybe even more. Who knows, depending on what you draw into. But I think minimum you're getting +3 from this over 3 different chain links. So just really good. Then you have Stoke the Flames. When Stoke the Flames hits, you return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. If you do, Stoke the Flame gains Go again. This one's kind of pretty good, and this is one of those ones that I think would be like 80% of the time, because I think that it doesn't have a natural go again. So this is kind of like your Torn a Tempo or your Soul Beat Strike from Katsu, where it doesn't have natural go again, but it's threatening go again, and it's threatening you go get a Phoenix Flame. So they have to block this. And if you play us in like Chainlink 4, 5, 6, like all of a sudden they're put in a really bad spot, especially if they try to block your mask once or twice, or heck, maybe it's the other way around and they're trying not to block you at all because they're just trying to come back. Well, now they're forced to block this. And if you couple this with like a Razor or like the +1 Combustion where you knock a card back to their hand, it can get really, really good really fast. So overall, really good. Then you have Tome of Firebrand. This is better in Dromai, but it's good in FAI too. And I definitely would have it in the deck. I might not have 3 of this. I probably would have like 1 or 2 of this, probably 2, maybe 1, because it is going to be hard to get that. You're basically going to have to play it on a 5-card hand, and you're going to have gone and got Phoenix forms somehow. But it's still good, and it's still nutty, and you can play it pretty easily. I definitely would have it in the deck. I probably would have a 2 of, but there's a possibility I have a 3 of. So that's it. 15 reds. Definitely go back in the video and look at what you would think. Getting into the blues, these won't take as long. I have 5 sets of blues in here, so 15 blues total. There are 3 sets of 5, or 5 sets of 3. First one's Ronin Renegade. Again, it's a 0-cost blue. Attacks for 1, has automatic go again. It only blocks for 2, but you're not gonna be I don't think you're gonna be able to have all 3 blocks with him like you would with Katsu. It's a little bit harder. But it's kind of a mix of 2 and 3 blocks for me. But this is just a really good blue. It helps us go wide strategy. It doesn't cost anything to play, right? It's a Draconic Ninja attack action, just really good overall. Then Cinderskin Devotion, I would still include this as in my blues. It's a block 3, which is nice, right? It only costs 1 to play, so at worst you can play this like late in the chain somehow. If you drew in the 2 blues, right? You play out your 2 reds, and then you play this, pitching your last card that's a blue, and then it gets go again, right? So not ideal to play, but it's a 3-block blue that is playable, so I definitely would have this in there. Lava Vein Loyalty is an automatic. I think from the set, it's the most automatic blue I've seen so far. It's a block 3/0 cost. It's going to get go again if you play it right on 2 or more, which is so easy. Just play 1 card before it, then you play this for 1. Granted, only hits for 1, but most blues don't hit that much anyway. And it's a block 3. So out of all the Draconic cards that are blue, I think that this one is probably your most solid blue, to be honest, for what FAI wants to do. Then you have Mounting Anger. It's a 1 cost for 2, but it has natural go again. And if it hits, if they let it hit, then you can banish an attack action card from your hand and it'll get a +1 effect. Again, this is one of the situations where you draw into 2 red attacks and 2 blues. You play out a red attack, you play this, or you play this first, heck, pitching your other blue, and it's threatening to give your next red attack +1, and you can banish it. So definitely not bad. It's only a 2 block, but I think I would have this in my blues as well, just for FAI's, what FAI wants to do. And Rising Resentment, the same thing. It has natural go again. If it hits, you may banish an attack action card from your hand with cost less than the number of chain links you control. If you do, it costs 1 less to play, and you may play it this turn. So if you had like this with this, you play Rising Resentment. If they let this hit because no one wants to defend for 1, then you just play Mounting Anger for free. And then if Mounting Anger, they let Mounting Anger hit for 2, then you can play a red, right? So like, obviously those aren't ideal turns from a damage perspective, but they synergize well enough to where they can help each other. And then finally, this is a sideboard blue, but it's definitely one that you can think about. If you're going to run a hybrid FAI build, definitely look at Bram with Cinderclaw. Just being able to give your next attack Draconic in addition to its other card types. You could give a Snatch Draconic, you give Scar for Scar Draconic. Shoot, you could even give one of the generic ninja cards that's in the set Draconic. Definitely a couple other things you could do. Even Belittle, even though I don't like the Belittle line, you could do a Belittle. So that way Belittle's a little bit better. It's only a 2 block, but overall not too bad. So yeah, I guess my 15 stable blues right now are Rising, if I'm doing a full Draconic build, or Rising Resentment, Mounting Anger, Lava Vein Loyalty, Cinderskin Devotion, and Ronin Renegade. Those would be my 15 blues. I probably would end up running 15 to 16 blues in this deck, to be honest with you, if I had to pick, but that's what I would be doing. But yeah, hopefully this made sense to y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I'll be trying to do as much content as I can. I'm going to Vegas this weekend for the world premiere. I'll be there. So if you're there, please hit me up on Discord, hit me up on YouTube, like say hi, like let me know where you're at, what you're doing. I definitely would love to meet some people. I'll try to do some YouTube shorts and some live stuff while I'm there. I'm gonna try to do some collaborations too with some people if we have time. But I'll definitely like not be, just a stranger. I'll be showing y'all what I'm doing. I'm playing in the opening premiere event, so I'll be able to get 6 packs of Uprising and and maybe more if I'm winning, hopefully, and be able to do well with that. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If not me, you can go to our creator, do the same, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. And I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.